Alrighty, so this is for drawing 1A. Automatically, we should get used to looking at drawings first. And if you notice, by this line in the bottom where it says 46, 9.78, that line right before it, the slanted line, there's actually no information there. We don't know the angle, we don't know the length. And that is your hint to you. In AutoCAD, you should probably start with the line that's 9.78 and then just close the whole shape at the end so that AutoCAD will automatically figure out what that line is. So let's do it that way. We're going to hit line command. And always there's a couple of ways to do things. I'm going to show you one way. I'll teach you some commands and you might be able to figure out a different way that might be clearer or easier. That's what you remember. So I'm going to start with that vertical line that's 9.78. I'm going to click. And if your crosshairs or your lines are not moving like mine, that means you don't have orthographic enabled. Ortho mode, that's F8. So I press F8, it shows off. Now we can put lines in any direction. F8 shows now that our lines are locked and to vertical and horizontal. I move down with the crosshairs and I'm just going to type the distance. This is the direct entry method. 9.78. Press enter. If you are seeing a square around your crosshairs, something like this when you're typing, that means you have dynamic UCS on. We don't want that yet. We'll talk about that later. Press F12 on your keyboard and that should get rid of that box. So F12, we don't want that. I'm going to do line. I'm going to turn that off. 9.78. Ortho is on. I'm going to go move to the right, hit 46. And then the next line, we could do it by rotating. If you don't know rotate yet, you should be able to do this with the polar method. And the polar method is when we put the distance and the angle. I'm going to type at. The distance of that line is 42, the less than symbol, and the angle is from 0. So 0 is to the right, and it shows 144 on the inside. We want what's left over from if you were subtracting or calculating from 0. So it would be 180 minus 144, which makes it 36 degrees on the right side. That's our line. Then we go up 20, back. If we look at the top, it says 50 minus, and then there's 30. So 50 minus 30 is 20. So we're going back 20, up 10, back 30, down 18, back 44, down 18.34. And then, like I said, we could hit close. If you did this all in one shot, and you don't have to have ortho on or off. It doesn't matter, but I'm just going to turn it off to show you. We want to hit close so that it brings us to this line. Or you can click at the end of the line if you have object snaps enabled. I could just click here, or I'm going to hit C for close. Okay, if you didn't have that green box appearing on the screen and you want those to show, right? And they don't appear now because I'm not in any command. Okay, they won't. I'm going to have to be in a command, so I'm just going to hit line, and now we could see midpoint, endpoint. Okay, there are a couple of ways or a couple of things happening if you don't see them. F3, and that turns object snaps off. Right now, I won't see any of those. All right, and you have to be in a command. If try F3 to turn it on, and if you still don't see them, that means the certain ones are not enabled. We have down here at the bottom, object snaps. This is how we could turn it off and on. We can right click, and these are the 5 that should be on. Endpoint, midpoint, center, quadrant, intersection. I suggest only leaving those on. Okay, or you can press escape, press OS on the keyboard. This is where we turn them on. Okay, then click OK. And when you hit line command or whatever command you're doing, then your object snaps will appear. All right, lastly, we will dimension. Before we submit, I'm just going to get rid of that. Hit this icon here. This is our QDim or quick dimension. And I'm going to click anywhere on the top, anywhere on the bottom. Notice it goes diagonally. If I bring the mouse over, lower and to the left, it gives me the up and down distance. Okay, I want the up and down, the overall height. So just moving the crosshairs down and further away, and I can give a height. I'm still in the QDim command, so I'm going to click. Now I need a right and a left. So I'm moving near an end, because if you move near a middle of a line, it'll do that. It'll give you the whole length. I want near an end, and somewhere over here near another end. And again, this is diagonal. I don't want that. I want left to right. So I'm going to move over a little bit. You see that? It switches from diagonal to horizontal. If I keep going all the way over, it'll give me the up and down. I don't want the vertical. I want this, the horizontal. And then press escape. Now these are microscopic. We don't want them that small for our screenshot. We want them bigger. So the last step, DDIM, double D, DDIM. And we'll talk about this stuff later. This is dimension style. I'm going to modify, and I'm going to jump over to the tab that says fit. Right, there are a few tabs up here. Fit and overall scale. It's set to 1. I want this bigger. Any number for now. We'll talk more about how we choose the number. Let's say 10. Click OK. Click close. And if that looks good, then you can screenshot. And remember, I want your screenshot with your username showing and the entire shape. And there you have it, drawing 1A.